Are expecting Neil to go down the inside, a bit like Rodders did there on Keith. Rodders sees a gap and he goes for it. And meanwhile, Vince has passed Jamo. He's alongside Jamo. Jamo's going back through on the inside. Vince is on the outside. Into Sterling's video now got. Oh, made a mistake. Whoa! Back end kicks out like hell. Video looking back to get back under the draft as Cyrix comes out of the pits. Watch out, Cyrix! 3 wide, decides to get up to speed and he sees all these go through. Vince has got the draft from Keith as well. But back to the leaders side by side for Rodders and Seek down towards the last corner. Here we go. LPB Mixed Surface Series Round 5 Race 4 from Tokyo East in a loop. Hi everyone and welcome back to LPB Racing for the LPB Mixed Surface Series on GTSport. This is round 5 race 4 here from Tokyo Expressway East Inner Loop in the Ford GT17, and we're going to take you through the grid for this race 4 now. So it is TY on pole position then. This is based on the previous results. So TY on pole with Stevie in second place. We've got Keith in third, and they're all weight free, the top 3. So no weight on their cars. Will is fourth, and he's actually on third place weight in the championship now, because he moves up after the good finish last time. So third place weight for him then in his car. Red Bull in 5th, then he's weight free. Bid's doing 6th on 200 kilos maximum ballast. Intrepid in 7th, he is running 40 kilos for 5th place in the championship. Neil Farmack 8th, he is on 2nd place weight in the championship, 160 kilos, and Rod is in 9th on 80 kilos at the back for 4th place in the championship. So then, here we go, last race here at Tokyo of round 5, last race of round 5. Next time we'll be moving to Fisherman's Ranch for more dirt races, but here we go for the final one here in the Ford GTs, ready for the lights to go out. Off we go. It's a good. T-Wag gets a lot of wheel spin there. Keith got a good start. So did Red Bull. As you come out the tunnel, you'll notice we're still on the Sport Soft tyre, but it's going to be a bit dark and a bit wet as we go out of here. So it's dark and wet conditions here as they go through there. There goes the spray. Now they've got to try and stop it from even further back now with the wet conditions. Everyone on the brakes. Braking as you come down to the first corner. Stevie on the inside line. So's Red Bull. Everyone else trying to get the car stopped. Everyone jostling for positions. Will Red Bull up the inside of Neil there, and Bids is up the inside of Rodders and Keith. Bit of contact between all of them back there. And Neil Farmack comes out the corner. There's Bidster in Rodders and in Keith. Bidster giving them all space. Rodders, Keith, and Intrepid all together as well. Up to the next section. Stevie second. There's Neil Farmack pressing on the back of Will. Then there's these lot. It's Rodders from Bidster and Keith's on the inside of Intrepid, trying to hold on to his 8th place, and he's done so as they go out the corner. 6 laps in this one now, reduced by 1 lap in the wet weather. So that's what we have in LPB Racing. When it's wet, we take a lap off the distance just to try and help with the timing of things. So through the corners we go. Will is keeping ahead of Neil Farmack for now in the Rebellion Racing car, and Neil Farmack pressing hard then for the Seek and Destroy Motorsport crew, but Seek not here today. It's just Neil. So just Neil in this one as we go in to the corner. Oh, Will goes wide there, hits the wall on the chicane. That could help Neil Farmack out, and it does. Helps him out the corner, gets a good run. Bids is up to 6th place as well. He's closing on these boys as well. Red Bull goes wide, hits the wall. He's side by side with Will, trying to go around him. As he goes on the inside, he's trying to keep tight to the inside line. These cameras are much better in this one, using the standard cameras. You can see more of what's going on as Red Bull and Bidster now moving up on the inside of Red Bull. Bidster's right on the back of these lot. He's ditched Rodders and them already as Red Bull runs very, very wide there. There was no contact, I don't think. He just ran wide. Will runs wide as well, and that'll help Bidster up another position if he can. But onto the straight is where Bidster will not have as good of a run without draft, because his car will be slower than the others because of the weight he's carrying. 200 kilos in that car. The next heaviest car is Neil Farmack, and he is up in 3rd. But coming across the lines, TY in the lead of the race then. So these Sport Soft tyres are road legal tyres. They are like track day tyres, so they have got grooves in them, so they do clear the water quite well. Neil Farmack there in 3rd, and there's Bidster with Will right behind him as we go towards the hairpin. Bidster's up to 4th, and now he's got Will right behind him, trying to get that 4th position back into the braking zone. Brake. The car's squirming in the wet conditions as well. Red Bull's not going to stop. Oh, he goes into the wall. Bidster has to sort of lift off the brakes and try and avoid him, but Red Bull goes wide. Oh, there he gets hit by his teammate. Rodders completely outbrakes himself and hits Red Bull as well, and they're both facing each other, probably just, you know, gesturing to each other rather unpleasantly, and they both get going. But that was a bit of a strange turn of events. We'll get the replays in at the end of the race for this one. It's only a short one, this one, as well, it's better to get them in the end of a 15-minute race, I think. Makes more sense, as Bidster then goes through the corner there with Neil Farmack on his tail. So Bidster and Neil, the weight not affecting them very much in this one, so the wet conditions evening it out. Not really seen the weight have too much of a big effect this championship. It's had some effects in the slower cars, but in the faster cars doesn't seem to have the same effect, as Bidster slides his way through the corner and TY slides his way out the chicane. There goes Stevie. Stevie's turn to go through there. Oh, whoa, Will! Bang! Hits the wall there. That's not going to be good as Bidster and Neil take the chicane. Oh, Bidster sliding the car out the corner there. So Neil and Bidster having a bit of a slide fest there. But Will doesn't look like he looks like he's struggling with the handling of the car as Bidster sliding the car through the corners, rally style from Bidster. And that's not really the way you ought to drive that car. But Neil Farmack, that's not the way you ought to drive that car either. That's called sparking a wall, sunshine. You don't want to do that as you go up to the top, onto the overpass, to then go down and drop down onto this straight, which has got to be at least over a mile long. It's absolutely insane, the length of this straight. Power on, off we go down the straight. Bidster in the draft of Will, Neil in the draft of Bidster, all together now. But out front, TY is making mincemeat of this field. Absolutely mincemeat. He's had 2 wins in a row. Let's see if he can make it a third, but we'll have to see, because we know what TY's like for his last lap mistakes in this championship, so it's not over until the checkered flag flies. There goes Stevie, he's just gone across the line, and then we've got Will, Bidster and Neil all together as well. They've got Intrepid in 6th, Keith 7th, a bit more spread out further back, Red Bull back in 8th and Rodders in 9th. The 2 Chippendale Racing cars having that coming together earlier. But here comes Will, Bidster and Neil. Bidster going for the inside of Will into the corner. There's Bidster's car, he just gets the car stopped, tries to keep a tight line on the inside and tries to get the run out the corner, but can't quite do it. Will holds on to his 3rd place. As we go out the corner, you can see the other part of the track there. Rodder's just gone into the hairpin at the far end, and now Bidster on the back of Will. And into the right-hander, and then which leads into the left, but Will goes wide, taps the wall a little bit. He's now got to take him to more defensive line. Bidster will get a better run out of the corner. He's got to see if he can capitalise here, but we have got a tightening bit of the track coming up, and he doesn't bother. He decides to lift off and stay behind Will there as you go through the corner. You see their Bidster just being nice and careful on the throttle, and Neil Farmack not being careful on the throttle at all. Absolutely getting stuck in here, right behind Bidster. All 3 in a close line themselves. Will defends the inside from Bids, but I don't think there's any point in defending into this corner, because you're just going to lose time like this. Watch, he goes into the corner, and look, he'll go wide because he took a defensive line. Bidster slides and cuts back to the inside, but there's still no way through. Will does luckily holds on, but we don't know how long for, because if he defends like that again, he's going to lose himself a lot of time. He got lucky there because Bidster had a little mistake as well, so drifting the car through the corner as we go up towards the overpass. Will still holding on to his podium place as Bidster makes a mistake, goes wide. Neil goes on the inside. That's not like Bidster in wet conditions. Bidster goes wide and Neil goes through, so yeah, Neil goes through there, and now it's Neil's turn to lead the charge to try and catch Will onto the straight. Let's go on board with Bidster. Look at the speed, that's in miles an hour on the actual dash, as you can see on the actual telemetry there as well. The speed of these cars and the lack of spray on the windscreen is not really realistic, but there we go, into the tunnel. Now it's realistic as we go up the gears, closing on the cars in front. There's the outside view, and now we go back to the outside cameras. Down the straight, Neil moves out, Bidster goes the other way, he uses Will's draft to pass Neil. Now he's got to make sure he can get the car stopped as we go through this kink. Brake, brake, brake. Everyone's hard on the brakes. Bidster on the inside of Will. Is he going for the move? He's on the inside. Can he get the car stopped? Oh, beautiful move there from Bidster. Neil follows him through on the inside. Wait for me, wait for me. I'm coming through as well. Let's open a little nudge to Will on the way out. Will's not giving up now. Gets the power on. No, you don't, Neil. Not in your life, sunshine. So both of them trying to fight for traction, and Will just about winning the battle there. A little bit of a nudge, but still rubbing his race in as we go through the little right and left complex bit. Up over the actual straight again and back down the other side, and now down through the fast but twisty section of this Tokyo East Inner Loop circuit. Very nice circuit this, and a bit of a challenge in the wet as well, but the wet physics on this game not really up to the standards of Project Cars, but still not bad. Good effort from Gran Turismo to get the wet conditions in, but still, I think they could have done better with him, because Gran Turismo 6 just absolutely owns this game. But in my opinion, that is all my opinion, guys. But here we go. Bidster's caught up to Stevie. Stevie's made a mistake either, or Bidster's just ditched these two and actually got on with it. But Stevie then under pressure from Bidster now. We're used to seeing this fight on Project Cars 2, but this is on GTSport now. It is Bidster versus Stevie, but on GTSport. Same drivers, different game in the same car. This should be interesting. As Stevie goes wide, Bidster tries to get a good traction onto the straight. He's got a good traction. He's alongside him. Can he actually get the move done? I don't think he will be able to without the draft, because of the weight difference. There goes Steve. They're actually quite equal at the moment. Further back we've got Will and Neil together as well. They're actually alongside each other, I think, as well. So got a few cars side by side here. Bidster's in front of Stevie then. Bidster's in front, but Stevie comes back on the overspeed. Well, that's the less weight for you. Goes back through on the right hand side. And meanwhile, Will and Neil alongside each other, with Neil on the inside for the hairpin, but the outside for the little kick coming up. And onto the brakes goes Stevie and Bidster. Bidster still keeping it on the inside of Stevie here. Still keeping it on the inside. There's Neil and Will. And Bidster takes the position from Stevie. Stevie goes wide, and Bidster takes the position. And Neil and Will have run each other wide. They've run each other completely wide there. And Neil finally tries to get on the power. Will gets on the power earlier. Out the corner we go. We did this one lap ago, and Neil slides in front of Will. Absolutely brilliant car control there, and says, no, you know, that door is getting shut on your foot, and you are not coming past me again. So Neil takes the 4th place. He's been wanting most of the race, and Bidster's up to 2nd. He's past Stevie, so he's got on with it a bit, but TY's way too far ahead to be caught now. TY's got to be at least 15 seconds ahead, at least. So TY dominant in these races so far, and showing himself to be back in contention for the championship, or trying to get back into contention, because he's still quite a few points off the leaders. He's coming into this race, he's still at least 150 points behind the leaders at this stage, so he's got a lot of work to do, but he's got to try and do what he can. But Bidster then trying to minimise the points gap. And Neil's his main rival at the minute, so Neil he's got a bit of work to do. Old Neil got to try and catch up to Bids and get that points deficit down. Further back, we've got a little battle developing between Keith, Intrepid, and Red Bull. Keith is he's sort of he's not really fallen back. He's been having a steady pace, but Intrepid's right with him, and Red Bull's come up from the back as well. Decent lap times there from Red Bull. Oh, Keith was wide, hits the wall. Keith goes wide, hits the wall there, and TY is in the pits. Why is TY in the pits? He must be just showing off the fact that, oh, look at me, I can make a pit stop and I can keep the lead. But, oh, well, that's weird. That he's just gone into a new set of tyres. Oh, okay, so TY makes a pit stop and goes out in front. Didn't even need to. And unless he wanted to do what he did at the other Tokyo track, but actually do it himself this time. So, you know, wants to make a tradition of every time he comes to Tokyo, he goes in the pits, but at least once. But TY there with the most random pit stop in the world. Bidster into the first corner, with Stevie going very, very wide there in pursuit of Bidster there, but he's just sliding the car. He's just trying to overdrive the car. He can't really get what he wants out of it. Neil Farmack 4th, Will 5th. Keith very wide in 6th place. Intrepid and Red Bull are going to go past on the inside, and they have. Intrepid and Red Bull have gone past Keith as he runs wide, and down to 8th place he goes, and now he's got 2 cars to pass to get back to his 6th place. Intrepid under pressure here from Red Bull. So last lap battle here for 6th place, and it's all 3 cars battling for it. Red Bull goes to the inside. Intrepid doesn't bother defending, because he knows he's got the line into the corner. Sometimes in the wet, defending can really, really hinder you more than in the dry. So, because you defend into the corner and you get more understeer than you think because of the wetness underneath the wheels, the aquaplaning, and it's not good. But the Red Bull trying there, keeping up pursuit, and Rodders not really liking this Ford GT. I don't think. I think he'll try and bounce back next round at Fisherman's Ranch if he can. But meanwhile, TY makes a pit stop, stays in the lead, absolutely showing off. And why not? If you've got a 15-second lead, why not make a pit stop? You know, if you can get away with it. But yeah, it just shows the unrealistic pit stop times of this game again, with a 15-second You know, being able to have a 15-second gap and then actually make a pit stop and still come out in front, that is just ridiculous. So, but TY, nevertheless, it might be a ridiculous pit stop, but the TY is going to come across the line, makes a pit stop and wins the race. And TY takes victory in race 4. Well done to TY. Victory for him in his Ford GT. Good haul of points there. Three race wins in a row. Bids to second, then keeps his point tally. Stevie in third. Neil's 4th. Good one for Neil. Will in 5th. A good haul of points for him still as well. And Intrepid, Red Bull and Keith are coming down now, but it's going to be Intrepid in 6th. Red Bull 7th. And Keith in 8th. There they go across the line. Across the line they go, all across the line, and then we're just waiting for Rodders to come through in at 9th position. So Rodders comes up to the line in 9th, power on, foot to the floor, and we're approaching the line now, and we'll have to stop it there. So well done to all who participated in that one, and we'll just get the results and the replays in for you now. Here's the replays from the race. Okay, here's the first of the replays then. On board with Rodders on the run down to the first corner. You see the sparks there from Red Bull's car on the wall. Everyone's slowing down. Bit of contact between Rodders and Keith as he acroplanes himself through there. Bidster taking advantage on the inside. Rodders gets absolutely sandwiched by the two BB Racing cars there, then gets the power on and out the corner with a bit of a slide and takes 6th place. Good awareness there by everyone. And just after we ended that with Rodders, we had this with Intrepid. So watch Intrepid there right behind Bidster, trying to get in the hurry up. Then watch Intrepid's got here, Keith slows down, then Intrepid hits the wall, then Keith gets going on the other side and actually takes the place. So absolutely brilliant there. It's like Keith knew it was going to happen. Okay, now here's a replay on lap 2. What happened to the Chippendale Racing car? So Red Bull brakes and watch, he's about to hit Bidster, so he moves to the side, so he doesn't do it. Then Rodders just outbrakes himself, completely outbrakes himself, and bang, hits Red Bull. So and then Intrepid goes wide, so does Keith. It's absolutely pandemonium. And those two Chippendale Racing cars are there, swearing at each other and waving the fist at each other while they try and organise who's going first. And here's something else we missed on lap 2 as well. This we're further ahead. Stevie then breaks into turn 1, completely misses it, goes wide into the wall. Neil Farmack goes through and into the corner. Stevie's recovering, and all the other commotion happens behind. Watch Neil. He recovers here, they recover, and then Neil gets on the power too much and spins himself around on the inside. There goes Will, but he luckily just gets going. And then Bidster takes him as well for 4th, and that's how Neil went down the field. Okay, here's a replay on lap 4 of some action that we missed while we were watching Stevie and Bids as Neil outbrakes himself into the last few corners, and then Will gets right back up the inside. So Neil did attempt a move there, but he just didn't make it stick. Then Will goes wide out the corner and sparks off the wall, which leaves it open for another battle. Here's a replay of the last lap battle between Intrepid and Red Bull and Keith. So you see Intrepid goes wide there, hits the wall. Red Bull comes back at him, and now they're down the straight. Red Bull is chasing Intrepid, chasing him, trying to carry all the speed through this right-hander that he can. He's trying to get down the inside of him. Intrepid goes wide there, just about keeps it out of the wall. Red Bull then goes to the other side, flashing his lights, trying to get through into the last few corners now. Brake, Intrepid onto the inside, goes wide, hits the wall, but so does Red Bull. Keith does as well, but he grazes the wall, but still not close enough to take advantage. And onto the straight, Red Bull gets a good run, but Intrepid has got just enough to hold on for 6th place. And now straight to the results. And now to the results, guys. It is TY who takes 3 wins on the bounce here. Well done to TY. It's Bidster in 2nd place with Stevie in 3rd. We've got Neil Farmack just missing out on the podium in 4th, with Will in 5th. Intrepid finishes in 6th ahead of Red Bull in 7th. We've got Keith back in 8th position, and Rodders unfortunately back in 9th. And we've got TY the fastest lap, a 2:05.5. And now, guys, we go on to the overall positions after round 5. It is Bidster in the lead of the championship on 3.73, with Neil Farmack just behind on 3.54. Then we've got a big gap to Will on 2.54, so 100 points difference there in 3rd. So Will in 3rd. We've got Red Bull in 4th, with Rodders in 5th on 2.50 each, with Red Bull getting the 4th. With Intrepid on 2.49, 1 point off them. TY on 226, improving his points there dramatically. Keith on 206, with Seek on 204, and Stevie putting 47 points on the board for himself. BB Racing ahead of the Teams Championship on 579. We've got Seek and Destroy Motorsport on 558, so quite close there. Chippendale Racing on 500, with Rebellion Motorsport just trailing 20 points behind on 480. And as we come back from that, guys, your winner is TY. Well done to TY there. Well done. Brilliant race win there in his white Rebellion Ford GT there. So good racing by everyone in that. Hope you all enjoyed the races here at Tokyo. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys next time for round 6 of the championship, which will be at Fisherman's Ranch. Again, back on dirt with 2 very different cars. We'll see you for that one, guys. Take care. Thank you for watching another race by LPB Racing. Hope you all enjoyed that one around Tokyo for round 5. And next time it's going to be round 6 around Fisherman's Ranch in the Audi Quattro. We'll see you for that one, guys.